something like that. So it's, I remember the first few years of Zerodha, I think we were working like, I don't know, 13, 14 hours a day types, So, and, but as we've grown as a business, I've realized it's important that people don't work hard. Because I think working hard is overrated. And because, if you're thinking long enough, long-term enough, then you will know the importance of conserving your energy, right? Because in the problem in the startup world or in the business world, or, we've all been told that you need to work.
I keep grinding,
yeah. Right? And, but then, if you're thinking about your career as 30 years, 40 years, right? 3 months of working really hard can have significant damages over the next 29 years and 9 months, right? So I think some of these things I started appreciating as we grew as a business, saying not just me, I need to make sure that everyone on the team as well is not overworked. So like, for example, at Zerodha today, we kill all work chat at 6 p.m. because one of the things I realized was that if people are chatting after 6 p.m., they'll be distracted all. And if you have on these chat groups, you have these managers. If a manager pings, then almost everyone in the group is required to be wired in on what's happening, right? Because say, for example, I'm on a group with say 60 people, and at 8 p.m. I randomly, said something on the group. Now all the 79 people are forced to
read through that,
and then acknowledge, and then whatever, they might be spending time with the kids or doing whatever. If you know that I can send a chat at 8 p.m., you're probably already distracted.
Right.
The saying, Nithin might just send something, I need to be ready to respond and stuff like that. So so we kind of made some of these changes internally, and so the thing is, I think the problem everywhere is that we are all constantly thinking with near-term goals, and not really focused too much on the long-term goals of sorts. You're always compromising near-term whatever decisions, prioritizing near-term. I think it's leading by example. So it's not like at 8 p.m. Like I get random things to say at 7:30, right? I make a note of it, and the idea was to not have any. No, keep it all asynchronous. Like even if I want to communicate, I'll write an email for myself, or I'll put it on Google Keep or something like that, and say it can wait till Monday. Unless of course there is something really important, right? And as a business, there'll be emergencies. I think it starts from me. If I don't do it, people see how I behave, and then it kind of seeps through the organization, right? But if I say all of this and I am randomly sending messages at different times and on weekends, on Sundays, and etc. I think people also will stop caring about some of these things. No, but we're not really sitting and monitoring.
Okay.
I don't think.
Right.
I don't think it's really worth it.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. But internally, we have this like a very open forum. We call it inside.zerodha. It's where we are constantly talking. Where I'm usually saying and putting stuff out there. And a lot of people we don't have like a multiple hierarchy, so everyone in the organization is just one ping away from me. So if there's something which isn't going as per what we've all decided how the business should run, I get to know almost if this way of running it can scale, if businesses become much bigger. But until now it's been quite okay, and people also generally appreciate within the company, so if you are kind of taking care of them, you're saying and doing the right things, they also, our attrition rates are really low, and it kind of has long-term benefits for the business as well. Like there was one point though when COVID happened, right, and everyone went work from home. Suddenly I realized that this, all this work that was happening on Google Chat, etc., was just stupid. I was like, just people randomly, without being self-aware, sending, including me. Like, I don't think people knew how to transition into remote work. Like no one knew, right? As in, this is like the first time it's happening to everyone, right? So, and I think at that time I kind of knew that some of these things that we're doing as a business is maybe not right, and we need to change. Said it's maybe not the right thing for anyone on the reason most companies think short term is because people who run the business have a pressure to show short term growth, right? So so you're always optimizing for that, right? As in, you're a listed company. If you're a listed company, you have a quarter-on-quarter growth pressure to grow at a certain speed. If you're a private company, the investor is going to have some targets for you. So So when founders start pushing, so there's a pressure on the business, on the founders, which is you're constantly putting pressure to reach that monthly goal, that quarterly goal, and then it's very easy to compromise on some of these health, mental, overall wellness. That takes a back seat. But if founders had the freedom saying, what, I don't care about quarters and half years, but I care what your business will be 10 years from now, and the founders were optimizing for what is 10 years from now, automatically decisions will change. Right. And I think as Zerodha, I think I'm super lucky to be in a place where I can make those calls because if not, if I was running a business where I had a quarter-on-quarter pressure, maybe I would not have been able to say some of these things, right? It's very hard otherwise, right? As in, forget founders, even CXOs, even managers of a team, right? Every manager of a team has got pressure from his boss, to meet a certain monthly goal, and it's very hard for that manager to then think about the wellness of his team, right? As in, so like the problem in the industry today is, I think, in the business startups, is everyone's stressed, about growing at a certain speed. I think everyone's compromising on the health. Almost every founder I meet, like as soon as I meet, I can almost see like them saying, I'm going to work on my health, or I'll diet, like automatically, instinctively, they will themselves come to me and say something like that, which is good that they at least are conscious about it, and yeah, I think like I'm almost thinking of this as like peer pressure. Some of these guys to think about this. Like this whole stress, I think one of the things I've realized what helps, is just be completely open about it, open and transparent, right? If there's an issue, just be open and transparent about it. And we've done it. When you have tech issues, I've written blog posts saying, dude, we screwed up. When you even internally, right, on as I said, we have this inside forum. I make sure to share almost everything about the business, why we are doing what we are doing, etc. out there, so everyone knows about it. So because I think when you complicate your life, is when really the levels of stress go up. You keep your life simple, it really life's a lot less stressful. And I've always, I think as a trader, I have a trading background, so I would never do something where I can't make peace with the worst case outcome. So I'm so if I'm investing, we are investing in a startup, I go in thinking there's a write-off, right? And I'm like, if it's a write-off, it's going to affect me. If it's going to affect me, I'll not do it. If it doesn't affect me, I'll do it, because it's exciting to do it, So it's every decision as a business is that. And so you're kind of already expecting all of these. I'm already expecting, I know that in a year I'll have 2 or 3, some issue where, there'll be client, ire on us. And I've been open about things, saying that, this is bad for the customer. We should not do it, but it generates revenue for the business, right? So some of these things, the ability to be able to say it is also like a moat. As you grow as a person, as a business, I think you need to figure things that you can do, which is hard for others to do, right? That's really the way you can grow in your life, right? As in, and yeah, I think we've constantly, just like I realized that this constantly being able to say some rational stuff without getting conflicted with whatever you have as a business, etc., is kind of is a moat itself. I think generally, so I used to be a trader, right? So so I used to trade the markets, and trading the markets is like being on a roller coaster, like not 24 hours, 7 hours a day, right? Because the markets are open 27 hours a day, and I think the only way to get through the trading way of life, is to make peace with the volatility, and so I think that background of having traded for 10, 12 years is so the business volatility didn't really seem too much of a volatility, because so even as a 35-year-old me, I don't think I was really getting stressed about what customers say and stuff like that, because I knew that shit's going to happen, right? As in, there is no way to escape that, so but I've probably matured in every other sense, but this whole stress ways, I think I've always been a very, I know there are these outcomes going to happen, which is not in our control, and yeah. So I think I don't know if I've significantly improved in that level.
Yeah.